Hello, my friend. Welcome to Read English. This video is not just a lesson. It's a story. My story. You see, I didn't start with a big team or expensive tools. I started with just a simple idea, a kind heart, and a small dream to help people who are trying to learn English, just like you. Every day, I saw people who were shy to speak. Some were scared of reading aloud. Some felt alone in their English learning journey. I understood that feeling because I was once just like them. So I asked myself, what can I do to help? And that's how this YouTube channel was born. In this video, I want to share my full journey from a quiet idea to my very first video, to the kind messages from viewers like you. This is not a story about becoming famous. It's a story about purpose, learning, and hope. It's about starting small, making mistakes, and growing step by step. If you love stories, if you want to feel more confident reading English, if you want to learn in a kind, human way, then this video is for you. So, sit back, listen carefully, read along with me. Let's grow together through stories, because this channel isn't just mine, it's yours too. Chapter 1. A Simple Beginning. A Big Thought. I live a simple life. I wake up early, drink a cup of tea, and start my day. There is nothing special about my routine. Some days I sit quietly with my notebook. Some days I go for a short walk near my house. I enjoy the sound of birds and the feel of fresh air. I don't have a busy office. I don't wear a suit and tie. My life is calm, maybe even slow. But inside me, something is always moving. A small voice that says, do something useful. Do something that matters. One morning, I was sitting in the kitchen. The sun was coming through the window. I could smell rice cooking. My mother was standing near the stove, stirring something in a pot. She didn't speak much, but when she did, her words stayed in my heart. That day, she looked at me and said, helping people in need is like helping yourself. I didn't understand it fully at that time. I was still young, and life felt small. I asked her, how can helping someone else help me? She smiled and said, because when you make someone smile, your heart smiles too. When you make someone's life better, your own life becomes better. That line stayed with me for years. Even today, when I feel lost or confused, I remember her words. They always bring me back to something simple and strong, the power of helping others. Days passed. Months passed. I started noticing things more clearly. I began looking at the world differently. I looked at people walking to work, students riding bicycles, mothers carrying bags of food, and old men sitting on benches. I watched shop owners open their stores, sweep the floor, and greet customers with a smile. I saw how busy everyone was, but also how connected everything was. Everyone was trying to do something for someone. That's when I began to notice something powerful. All the successful businesses around me, big and small, were doing one thing very well. They were solving problems. The small tea shop near my home solves the problem of hunger in the morning. People stop there before work to get a warm cup of tea and a quick meal. The man who runs the shop doesn't speak much, but his tea makes people happy. His food makes people ready for the day. He may not be rich, but he is important. He is helping people. The woman down the street sells vegetables. She sets up her small table every day, even when it rains. She knows which vegetables are fresh, which ones are cheap, and what people need. She helps mothers feed their families. She solves a problem every single day.
The problem of what to cook, what to buy, and how to save money. She is not famous, but she is needed. Even the boy who sharpens knives, who walks from house to house with his tools, is solving a problem. He brings sharpness back to old things. He gives life to dull blades. He helps cooks do their jobs better.
He may seem like he is doing a small job, but to someone, he is doing something big. I started to think more about this. What makes a person or a business successful? Is it money? Is it popularity? Or is it something deeper? I came back again to my mother's words. Helping people in need is like helping yourself. Suddenly, the pieces came together. The people, the tea seller, the vegetable woman, the knife sharpener, they are all helping people. They are solving problems. And because of that, their lives have meaning. Their work matters. I looked around at the big companies too. Supermarkets, banks, delivery services, all of them were helping people save time, get what they need, or feel safe. That was their secret. Not the fancy logo, not the expensive ads, but the heart of the business, solving a real problem. This made me ask myself a new question. What problem can I solve? I don't sell tea, I don't grow vegetables. I don't know how to fix things with tools. But maybe I have something else. Something small but useful. Something I can share. I thought about what I enjoyed doing. I like reading. I like telling stories. I like speaking clearly and slowly. I like making difficult things easier to understand. And then it came to me. English. I remembered how many people around me struggled to read English aloud. Some could write it, some could understand it, but when it came to reading out loud, their voice would shake, their confidence would disappear. I had seen this again and again, and I knew that pain, because I had been there once too. That's when the idea began to grow. What if I could help? Not in a big way, but in a small, honest way. What if I could read stories out loud, slowly, clearly, so that people who are learning English can practice with me? What if I could create something that makes them feel less afraid, less alone? It didn't sound like a business. It didn't sound like something that would make me rich, but it sounded right. It felt right. It matched my mother's words. It matched the people I saw in my neighborhood, people who helped others and found meaning in return. That simple thought became my big thought. I didn't have a plan yet. I didn't know how to record. I didn't know how to upload a video. I didn't know if anyone would listen, but I knew this. If I help even one person read better, speak better, feel stronger, then I will also become better. And maybe, just maybe, that is enough to begin. Chapter 2. A problem I saw everywhere. It started with small things. I didn't notice it all at once. But slowly over time, I began to see the same pattern, the same problem, again and again. One day, I was sitting in a small tea shop. A young boy, maybe 14 years old, was sitting at the next table with his school book. He looked serious, his eyes fixed on one page. I heard him whispering words to himself. He was reading an English story, but his voice was shaky, like he wasn't sure if he was saying the words correctly. Sometimes he paused for too long. Sometimes he skipped a word and went on. He didn't know I was listening, but I was. Later that day, I met my neighbor's daughter. She's in university and studying very hard. She told me, I can write English. I can read it in my head. But when I try to read it out loud, I get nervous. Her hands moved quickly when she spoke, showing a frustration. My pronunciation is bad, she said. Sometimes I hear people laugh. It makes me afraid to try again. That same week, I met an older man at the market. He had just started learning English to help his son, who was studying abroad. I know what the words mean, he said with a smile. But my tongue gets stuck when I read out loud. I feel like I'm too old to learn. 3 people, 3 different stories, but one common problem. They all wanted to learn English, and they were trying, really trying. But when it came to reading English aloud, they all struggled. Their minds knew the words. Their mouths couldn't follow. Their voices were weak, slow, or unsure. Some of them skipped words, some mumbled, some gave up and closed the book. I started paying more attention after that. I saw the same thing in school classrooms, at bus stops, even online. So many people were learning English, but many were learning alone. They didn't have someone to read with. They didn't have a safe space to make mistakes. Some were just beginners. Some were shy. Some were afraid of being laughed at. I understood their fear. I had felt it too. I remembered a moment from my school days. I was once asked to stand and read a passage in English. My hands were sweating. My heart was beating fast. I looked at the page, and suddenly the words looked strange. I knew them yesterday, but today they felt new and hard. I stumbled through the sentence. A few classmates giggled. I sat down quickly. That small moment stayed in my memory for years. So when I saw others facing the same thing, I knew it wasn't a small problem. It was a real problem. The more I thought about it, the more serious it felt. Because reading out loud is not just about words. It's about confidence. It's about finding your voice. When someone is able to read aloud, they begin to believe in themselves. And when they can't, they feel small, weak, alone. I knew many people who could write English messages, text their friends, or answer grammar questions. But reading aloud, that was the mountain they couldn't climb. And sadly, many gave up halfway. Some said, I'll never sound like a native speaker. Some said, people will laugh at my voice. Some said, I'm not good at speaking, I'll just learn in silence. But I kept thinking, what if they had someone to guide them? What if they had someone to read with them slowly, clearly, with kindness, not judgment? And then the big question came to my mind. Can I do something to help them? That question stayed with me all day. I thought about it while brushing my teeth. I thought about it while walking to the store. I thought about it while lying in bed at night. I didn't have a teaching degree. I didn't speak like a British actor. I wasn't perfect. But maybe, just maybe, I didn't need to be perfect. Maybe I just needed to be willing to try, willing to help, willing to give what I had. And what I had was simple. I had a love for stories. I had a clear voice. I had patience. I had the memory of my mother's words. Helping people in need is like helping yourself. That was enough for me to try. I imagined a young learner sitting alone in a room with a book in hand, trying to read. I imagined their voice shaking, their confidence low, and I imagined them playing a video, a simple video, where someone like me was reading the story with them slowly, clearly, with a calm voice. I imagined them repeating after me, getting better with each line. That image made me smile. If I could make that kind of video, maybe I could help them. Maybe they would feel less alone. Maybe they would enjoy learning again. And maybe they would keep going. I didn't know yet how to make videos. I didn't know how to record, how to edit, or how to upload. But I knew the reason why I wanted to start. I wanted to solve a problem. Not a big problem, but a quiet one. A personal one. A problem that many people face, but no one talks much about. The fear of reading English out loud. And if I could help even one person speak without fear, then maybe I would find something precious too. Purpose, meaning, and a reason to keep going. That day I stopped asking, "Can I help them?" and started saying, "Yes, I will try."
Chapter 3. A Love for Stories. When I think about my journey to start this YouTube channel, I realize one very important thing: my love for stories. This love is not new. It started when I was a child. I remember sitting next to my mother in the evening. The sun was setting outside, and the room was warm with soft light. My mother would sit beside me, holding an old book, or sometimes just telling a story from her memory. Her voice was calm and full of life. She didn't just read words, she made the stories come alive. I could see the colors, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions through her words. Sometimes the stories were about kind people helping others. Other times they were about brave children who never gave up. My favorite stories were the ones with a little magic or surprise endings. As she spoke, my eyes grew big and my heart felt full. These stories made me happy. They made me feel safe. They made learning English feel like an adventure, not a task. At school, I saw many students who found English difficult. They struggled with grammar and vocabulary, but the hardest part was reading aloud. I remember how my mother's stories made the language fun and easy to understand. It was different from the textbooks. It was warm and personal. It was full of feeling. I realized that stories have power. They can turn something hard into something simple. They can make people listen carefully and learn naturally. When you listen to a good story, you want to know what happens next. Your brain works without pressure. You repeat the words without fear. You feel connected. This idea stayed with me for a long time. I thought, why not teach English using stories? Why not help people who want to learn English read aloud? Not by forcing grammar rules, but by sharing stories that touch their hearts. Stories that make them smile, think, and feel inspired. Stories are for everyone. They don't need perfect words or fast reading. They need patience, love, and attention. Stories help us understand each other. They help us grow. They help us see the world in a new way. So, I decided to use stories on my channel. I would read slowly and clearly. I would choose stories that are simple but meaningful. Stories that everyone can enjoy. Stories that teach lessons about kindness, courage, and hope. This way, learning English is not just about memorizing, it's about feeling. It's about sharing. It's about helping each other. Sometimes I think about my mother's voice. It still guides me when I read. I imagine her sitting next to me, smiling, saying, "Keep going. Your stories will help someone." And that thought gives me strength. Because learning English is a journey, and stories are the best way to travel together. Chapter 4.
The idea is born. Start a YouTube channel. After many days of thinking, the idea came to me clearly. I wanted to help people learn English by reading stories aloud, but I did not have fancy tools or expensive equipment. I had only a simple phone, a laptop, and a big heart full of hope. I remember sitting at my small table one evening. The room was quiet, with only the soft light of a lamp. I looked at my phone and thought, can I really do this? Can I make videos to help people? The answer came slowly, but it was strong inside me. Yes, I can. I did not have a big camera. I did not have a professional microphone. I did not have a studio with bright lights. But I had something more important: a wish to help and the courage to try. The next step was to choose a name for my channel. I wanted the name to show what I was doing, helping people read and listen to English stories. I thought about many names. Some were long and difficult. Some were funny, but did not explain much. Then I found the perfect name: Read and Learn English. It was simple, clear, and honest. This name said exactly what I wanted to do. With the name ready, I needed a plan. I sat down with my notebook and started to write my first script. I wanted the first story to be easy and interesting. I chose a short story that I loved when I was young. I wrote the words carefully, making sure they were clear and simple. I wanted my viewers to understand every sentence, every word. Writing the script was not easy. I had to think about my audience, people who are learning English. I had to use words that are easy but still fun. I had to make the story flow like a conversation, not like a textbook. Sometimes I rewrote the sentences many times until they sounded natural. After finishing the script, the next step was practice. I stood in front of the small mirror in my room and read the story aloud. I spoke slowly, clearly, and with feeling. I wanted to show the meaning of the story, not just read the words. I practiced again and again, listening to my own voice. Sometimes I made mistakes, but I kept going. I wanted my voice to be calm and kind so my viewers would feel comfortable learning with me. It was not perfect at first. My voice was shaky sometimes. I forgot a word or two. But each time I practiced, I got better. I learned to breathe deeply before starting. I learned to pause after each sentence to give time for the listener to understand. I learned to smile while reading, even if no one was watching. The whole process, choosing the name, writing the script, practicing reading, gave me hope. I felt that I was taking the first steps on a new journey, a journey that was not about fame or money. It was about helping others and growing myself. I also realized that I was not alone. Many people start with small things: a phone, a laptop, and a big heart. They start with a simple idea and a dream. I was one of them. That night, I made a promise to myself. I will keep learning. I will keep trying. I will keep reading stories for anyone who wants to listen. And so, the idea was born. The idea to start a YouTube channel where stories would bring people together, where English learning would be a journey full of kindness, patience, and love.
Chapter 5. Learning Everything Step by Step. When I started making videos for my YouTube channel,
I knew I had a lot to learn. I was excited, but also a little nervous. I did not know how to make good videos or how to use many programs, but I was ready to try, one small step at a time. The first thing I learned was how to record my voice. I wanted my reading to be clear and easy to understand. I used my phone to record at first. I found a quiet place and spoke slowly and clearly, just like I practiced many times. Sometimes I made mistakes or my voice was not steady. Sometimes there was noise around me, like a dog barking or a car passing by, but I kept practicing. I learned to choose quiet times to record and to take deep breaths before I started speaking. After recording my voice, I thought about how to make the videos more interesting. I heard that many creators add background music to their videos, so I decided to try it too. I found some soft, quiet music online that I could use for free. I mixed the music with my voice using simple software on my laptop. I made sure the music was low so it would not cover my voice. When I uploaded these videos with background music, I waited to see what my viewers would say. I hoped they would like it. But soon, I saw many comments asking me to remove the music. Some viewers said the music made it hard for them to hear the words clearly. Others said the music distracted them from learning. They wanted only my voice, calm and clear, without any extra sounds. At first, I felt a little sad. I thought music would make my videos better and more interesting. But then I realized something important. My viewers needed something different. They needed my voice to be the main thing. Simple, slow, and easy to understand. For them, less was more. So I stopped adding background music to my videos. I focused on making my voice clear and calm. I practiced reading slowly, with feeling, and with good pauses so learners could follow along. I wanted my videos to feel like I was sitting next to the viewer, reading a story just for them.
The next step was subtitles. I knew subtitles help learners read and listen at the same time. I didn't know how to add them at first. I watched tutorials and tried simple programs. I typed the story carefully, sentence by sentence, and matched the words with my voice. Sometimes it was hard to get the timing right. Sometimes I had to fix mistakes many times, but I kept working until it was good. Finally, I learned how to upload the videos. Uploading means putting the video online so people can watch it anytime, anywhere. I made a YouTube account and learned how to add my videos. I wrote simple titles and descriptions that explain what the video is about. I chose easy pictures for the thumbnails, the small images people see before clicking. Uploading the first video was exciting,
but scary. I wondered, will anyone watch? Will they like my voice? Will they learn something? But I remembered my mother's words. Helping people in need is like helping yourself. So I pressed the upload button and shared my work. I watched my first video many times. I felt proud. I had made something that could help others learn English. It was not perfect, but it was real. It was mine. This process was not easy. I made many mistakes and learned from them. I found out that it is okay to start small. It is okay to learn step by step. The most important thing is to try and keep going. Now, when I think about my journey, I want to tell others. You don't need expensive tools or perfect skills. You only need a big heart, patience, and the courage to begin. And if your viewers tell you what they want, listen carefully and be ready to change. That is part of learning. Step by step, day by day, I keep learning. I keep making videos, and I keep helping people who want to read and listen to English stories. Chapter 6. The First Upload. The day I uploaded my very first video was full of many feelings. I felt nervous and excited at the same time. My hands were a little shaky, and my heart was beating fast. I kept asking myself, is this good enough? Will people like it? Will anyone watch it? But deep inside, I also felt proud. I had made something with my own voice and my own story. That was special. I sat in front of my computer, looking at the screen. The video was ready. All I had to do was press the upload button. I took a deep breath and clicked it. The upload started slowly. I watched the progress bar move little by little. It felt like I was waiting for something very important. After the video finished uploading, I looked at the screen again. The video was live. Anyone in the world could now watch it. I smiled quietly. I was happy. I had started. For the next few hours, I kept refreshing the page. I watched my video again and again. I listened to my voice telling the story slowly and clearly. Each time I watched, I noticed small things. Sometimes I thought, maybe I could read that part better. Sometimes I smiled when I heard a sentence I liked. But mostly, I just felt thankful. I wanted to see comments. I wanted to know if someone liked the video. But at first, no one watched it. The view count was 0. The comments box was empty. I felt a little sad. I wondered if anyone would ever find my channel. But then I remembered something very important. I remembered why I started. It was not to get many views or likes. It was to help someone, even if it was only one person. It was to share my love of stories and my wish to make learning easier. That thought made me happy again. I was not giving up. I had taken the first step, and that was a big step. I kept making videos after that first one. Slowly, some people began to watch. Some left kind words in the comments. Some thanked me for reading slowly and clearly. Those small messages meant the world to me. They showed me that my work was helping someone. I learned that success does not come quickly. It comes with patience and hard work. It comes with the courage to start, even when you are afraid. So even if no one watches your first video, don't be sad. Be proud. Because you started. You took a step toward your dream. And that is the most important thing. Chapter 7. Slowly Growing deeply grateful. After I uploaded my first few videos, something wonderful began to happen. At first, only a few people watched, but little by little, more and more viewers started to find my channel. It was slow, but it was real growth. One day, I checked my video comments and saw a message from a viewer. It was a simple sentence, but it made my heart feel very full. The comment said, "Your reading helps me understand English better." I read it again and smiled. This small message was a big gift to me. More comments came after that. Some people said, "Thank you for speaking slowly." Others said, "Your voice is easy to listen to." A few wrote, "I am learning because of your stories." Each comment felt like a light shining on my path. Reading these kind words made me remember my mother's voice. Her words were always in my heart, guiding me every day. Helping others is like helping yourself. I smiled softly and whispered, "Yes, Mom, you were right." Her wisdom was true. When I help others learn English, I also grow and learn. When I give my time and effort to others, I find joy and purpose. This feeling made me want to work even harder. I wanted to make better videos. I wanted to find more stories that would help my viewers. I wanted to be patient and kind, just like my mother taught me. Even when the journey was slow, I stayed grateful. Every viewer, every comment, every watch was a small step forward, and every step was a reason to keep going. I realize that success is not just about numbers or fame. It is about connection. It is about touching one person's life at a time. It is about building a community where people feel safe and supported. I am deeply grateful for everyone who watches my videos. I am grateful for those who trust me to help them with their English. I am grateful for my mother's words that gave me the courage to start. Slowly, my little channel became a place of learning and hope, and I believe it will grow more and more, one day at a time.
Chapter 8. The Real Reason I Keep Going. Sometimes people ask me, why do you keep making videos even when the views are small? It's a fair question. After all, many people start YouTube channels hoping for millions of subscribers, viral videos, or internet fame. But that is not my goal. My channel is not about fame. It's not about becoming popular or rich. I didn't start this journey to be famous. I started it because I wanted to do something that had value. I wanted to do something that had purpose. And now, I understand something even deeper. This work helps others, but it also helps me grow. In the beginning, I was unsure of myself. My voice was quiet. My confidence was low. I didn't know if anyone would care about what I was doing. I didn't know if my small videos would make any difference at all. But the more I created, the more I began to see the beauty in this journey. Each story I read helped someone improve their English. Each video gave someone a chance to practice reading and listening. And each comment reminded me that even simple things like reading slowly and kindly can mean a lot to someone who is learning. Over time, I started to feel something I hadn't felt before: confidence. Confidence doesn't come all at once. It comes slowly, like drops of rain filling a cup. With every video I finished, I grew stronger. With every kind comment, I stood a little taller. I wasn't just helping others learn English. I was also learning about myself. This channel is helping me become more patient. It's helping me become more creative. It's teaching me to listen, to care, and to try.
Even when things are hard, it's teaching me that every person has something to offer, even if it's small. And that is the real reason I keep going. Because this is not just about English. It's about connection. It's about courage. It's about giving and growing. Helping others has helped me become a better version of myself. When I read a story, I don't just speak words. I try to bring emotion, kindness, and care into every sentence. I imagine a learner sitting alone in a room, maybe feeling shy or unsure, and I try to be the voice that says, "You can do this. Don't give up." That voice is not loud or perfect, but it's honest and it comes from my heart. I may never have millions of subscribers. I may never be known by the world, but if my videos help someone read a little better, speak a little clearer, or feel a little braver, then I've already succeeded. So yes, I will keep going. Not for fame, not for numbers, but for the people who need a calm voice, for the people who are trying, for the people who don't give up, and also for myself. Because through this journey, I've learned something precious. When you help someone else shine, you start to shine too.
Chapter 9. Final Words. A message to the learner. Now, at the end of this story, my story, I want to speak directly to you, the one reading or listening right now. You may be a student. You may be working. You may be learning English for the first time or starting again after many years. Whoever you are, I want you to know something very important. You are not alone. I know how it feels to be afraid to speak. I know the feeling when your voice shakes, when the words don't come out right, and when you feel like people might laugh. I know how your hands sweat and your heart beats faster before you say something in English. If you're afraid to speak, it's okay. Take a deep breath. Speak slowly. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave. One word at a time. One sentence at a time. Keep going. If you love stories, don't just read them silently. Try reading one story out loud every day, even for just 5 minutes. Let the words come from your mouth, not just your mind. Feel them. Say them. Hear your own voice and be proud of it. The more you read, the more confident you'll feel. If you want to help others, start with your heart. You don't need a big stage. You don't need to be famous. Just care. Listen. Share something kind. A small voice can still carry a big message, and you never know. Your voice might be the one someone needs to hear. I want you to understand something deeply. This channel is not just mine. It's yours too. Yes, I create the videos. I read the stories. I upload the content. But I do it for you, for your growth, for your journey, for your confidence. Every time you play a video, read along, or listen to a story, you become part of this channel. Your learning gives life to my work. Your practice gives purpose to my voice. So if you've ever watched one of my videos and thought, "This is helping me," then I want to say thank you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for showing up, even on the hard days. This channel is more than a place to learn English. It's a quiet corner of the world where learning is safe, where voices grow stronger, where stories bring us together. As you continue your journey, remember this. Mistakes are part of learning. Slow progress is still progress. Your voice matters. You are capable of more than you believe. And when you feel tired or discouraged, come back here. Play a story. Read out loud. Let your voice rise one sentence at a time.
Let your confidence grow, just like mine did. Because if I can do it with a phone, a laptop, and a big heart, then so can you. So go ahead, turn the page, speak the words, and always remember, this channel is not just mine, it's yours too. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're still here, I want you to know something important. You are part of this journey. Every time you listen, read, or repeat after me, you are not just learning English. You are becoming stronger. You are becoming more confident. You are becoming you. I started this channel to help people. People just like you, who want to improve but don't always know how. People who are shy or nervous to speak. People who love stories but are afraid to read aloud. If that's you, I want to say you are doing great. You don't need to be fast. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to keep going. Read with me. Speak with me. Practice with me. And most of all, believe in yourself, even on quiet days. This channel is a safe place, a place to learn at your own pace, a place where stories are your teachers and mistakes are welcome. My story started with a small idea, but now it's growing with your help. So if this story touched your heart or gave you hope or helped you learn just a little bit more, then please remember this. You are not alone. I'm here, reading with you, cheering for you, learning with you, and I will keep going because you keep going too. See you in the next story.